Hello, and welcome once again to Memento Mori Monday with me, Giorgio, your narrator, and these beautiful, beautiful people accompanying me and you towards this hopefully good story that I've written down from them. But then again, we've been on hold for a little bit because life got into the way. So again, we are doing our best with what life throws at us. We've been through that. I know you want to follow this adventure every other week, but then again, sometimes it's not possible. I'm sorry. We are very sorry. But then again, before starting and getting into the juice of this session, our little Riccardo the Bloody asked for a little recap of what happened, because again, sometimes past is perfectly forgivable, right?
You're making my character out to be so cute when I'm actually really mean and horrible.
Just because we're into the summary still. Then again, you get to be all gloomy and broody and rummaging and whatever you want. But
Yes.
then again, you are my little character, which I cherish, my little player. And then, so do you want to start with what do you remember about the last sessions? And I'm trying to fill in into the gaps so that it is a together effort.
Um,
The only things I remember, although bear in mind I played many games at Expo in between the sessions, is that my daughter Bridget could not be buried at the church because reasons. The what's his face who I tried to convince not to go to the creepy cemetery with the creepy apparition dog thing went anyway, and guess what? He died very brutally. And then we were
They
also
didn't
roped.
die.
Oh no, he didn't die. He got a brutal injury, but then he came
got-
back, didn't he?
He got his
Exactly.
ass. He's got his ass handed to him.
Yes.
But
He then
his
convinced us to.
manservant
Yes.
whisked him away.
Manservant bolted. Yes. He then convinced us to go to a place to get a thing.
Hmm. Give or take, that's the gist of it.
Mm-hmm.
So kudos to you. And just to fill, as I said, fill in the gaps or the blanks a little bit more, Lord Brian, which is the holy man you were looking for here in Winchelsea, claims to have some magical powers able to heal those infected with the Black Plague, which you suffer from. Then he saw something in the samples of blood he withdraw from your scabs and whatnot, and figured that you are part of some sort of legend or prophecy that he read about somewhere. You're not really sure because he didn't say. And because of your newfound condition, you might be able to go on a quest for him to retrieve an artifact that allegedly, supposedly, as he said to you, could enhance his power in order to heal far more people with several degrees of infections. He also told you that given your conditions, his power as they are now might work on you, but there's no guarantee. So what he asked you, please, is to retrieve this artifact, which he is not sure about the translation that he came up with, because it may be a goblet or an actual skull. So he's not really sure how to translate that because he's not able physically to access these other, you might call it, region or plane of existence where this artifact is actually secluded and treasured, cherished by somebody. So you got the night to think of it. And the following morning, do you recall what happened?
No, but I've
stayed
just
at the
remembered
inn?
that I was meant to send you something in private and I forgot. Oh, balls.
Balls. Yeah, I mean, if you got it somewhat written down, you want to send it to me via private chat. I will read it as soon as the game goes, and
Yeah,
we'll try
sure. I
to
was just
figure
hoping to
that
give
out.
you a little more notice, but obviously I didn't. So
Yeah,
my bad.
I forgot as well. Don't worry. But then again, you slept at the inn, deciding and um, pondering the pros and cons about going on this quest for this man you actually don't know. Then the next morning, a dismembered boy body is found in the alley behind the inn you were staying at. The folk was pretty easy and quick to draw fingers at you, but a pretty thought out performance by yours truly, Riccardo the Bloody, was able to somewhat calm the masses so that you could earn your way with Grant, which I recall is the name of the henchman, lieutenant, whatever you want to call it, of Lord Brian that leads you to the church. Here you find Lord Brian, which is somewhat recovering for the claw marks of these foul beast that attacked him at the cemetery, I'm sorry. And he tells you that he knows these people. They won't take too much time to, again, growing angrier towards foreigner and try to look for a culprit of what happened to the boy behind your inn. And then again, he urges you to leave at once so that, of course, their rage cannot affect you. And we ended the session there, where you all agreed to leave town with Grant to look for this secluded land or plan of existence. Okay, just give me a sec.
Getting pins and needles in the end.
That's how exciting it is.
Okay, so I read, I'm not giving any more details, but I would say yes, but actually no. Meaning, it's a really cool idea what you came up with because it's gory, it's dark, it's everything I love. But then again, something specific must happen for it to be a thing.
Okay.
So, given that you, Riccardo, were to choose whether to bring your daughter in her casket with you or not, you can. The choice again was and still is up to you. What I'm saying is that what you sent me, that I'm not going to spoil for anybody, need a particular thing to happen. Rather, it wouldn't. It would not.
So you're basically saying yes, but with extra steps.
Exactly. Somewhat complicated.
Challenge accepted.
Yes, in
Perfect.
order to do
Um,
what you need to do, you need to recite recite the ritual of Ashkenti whilst wearing a tutu.
I'm just writing specifically what needs to happen so that you can work out whether to bring the casket with you or not. So you got the whole general knowledge that you need, but I'm not saying it openly for the others to experience like I did.
Okay, I'll get Messenger back up there. He's typing.
Yes, send so that you can read it before making your decision.
Oh.
Mhm.
I
That's gonna
wasn't
be kind
expecting
of
that so
bad.
much. I kind of thought it would be the opposite.
No.
Oh God.
I just wanted to make sure that the extra steps are clear in your head. Going beyond the veil doesn't translate into anything automatically. For modifications and anything else, the catalyst is the corruption of your blood.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I think it'll take me a bit of thought, but I'm happy to give it a try because it's
Okay.
dark and nasty.
That's gonna be bad.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I have
Okay.
like 3 points in Viscera. Hello.
Hello, exactly. But then again, that doesn't really matter. You might have as well have 7. But if your blood is corrupted, you need to black out a dot somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Thus corrupting whatever that is that you
Yes.
choose.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I hope I didn't pierce your eardrums. But yes, so yes. What? Do you want to have a little bit of more of a thought, or you're okay? Phil disappeared. Fuck me. I just said it.
Ah.
Phil.
You know, I was worrying.
Hold
I
on.
had this. He's
Okay.
back. Is he back? He's back.
Did you press
you
the wrong
misclick,
button
mate?
again?
It's the wrong button.
Oh, thank goodness. I had this horrible, because of the conversation we were having just before we went live, I had this horrible thing that we would get to the intro and we'd get through the preamble, and then Georgia was going to say, right, you know, and we're back. And suddenly Phil's computer goes kaplunk.
No, it's just incompetence.
I was just about to say you jinxed it, Phil. That's on you, mate. But then again, thankfully, everything is working fine. Jayson made up his mind.
Yes.
So you are still in the aisle of the church.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, I didn't butcher that pronunciation because that sounded wrong in my head. But then again,
No, the
you
eye.
understand where you are.
Yeah.
Lord Brian, of course, is still debilitated by the wounds, so he's not standing up. Because if I recall correctly, Riccardo once was given the news that his daughter couldn't be buried in the church, just threw away some pamphlets from the benches and went brooding and glooming somewhere else inside of
Oh,
the
it was
church.
more than pamphlets. I picked up like a cup or something that would make
yeah,
noise.
right. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, you threw a cup out, and Lord Brian was more than happy to give you the time that you needed in order to process the bad news that it brought you, and it is still waiting on the benches.
We've already accepted. We've told them we've accepted the mission, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was still to be seen whether Riccardo was bringing the coffin with him or not, because it was given the chance to leave it at the church. In the meanwhile, you were going on your quest, and maybe you were a solution for a proper burial was to be found while you were away.
And yeah, Brother Jerome made some good points the night or so before as well, and all that. And there was a little bit of wavering, but no, this morning, Riccardo does come in with the casket. He doesn't speak to Lord Brian or any of the priests, but he does obviously approach his companions, and he just simply says, "I don't trust them. I don't trust them with her."
I'm sure they'll look after her and treat her remains with care and compassion. They seem
not
to be
convinced.
honest enough folk.
The cemetery is overrun. There's creatures everywhere. There's brutal murders happening outside. Anything could happen to her. Even if she was buried, then they could dig her up, taint her passing. She's better off far from here and where I can see her.
It seems you've made your mind up.
Yeah, you got that right.
Very well. You have elected to embark on this course, Riccardo. We will, of course, respect your decision, even though, if I may say so, I believe that you are misplaced.
You can say whatever you want, brother, but you won't convince me any other way. I have my ways, you have yours.
Apparently.
So it is kind of clear to you, John and Brother Jerome, that the love and the cherishment that Riccardo has towards his daughter are quickly growing into an attachment that, of course, is maybe determining something else. You're not exactly sure, also because the whole premise of this story is that you've got acquainted with each other during a journey. So you're not actually up to speed with everything that happened to Riccardo or John or Brother Jerome and vice versa. But he made up his mind. He made his decision. I'm sorry, to bring the casket with his past daughter with him. Lord Brian is not judging. He sends the other brother, whose name I always forget. I do believe it was Richard. Yes, to get the casket for you. And Lord Brian said, well, I wouldn't waste any more time if I were you. I gave some supplies to Lord Grant that will escort you to your quest. I wish you the very best of luck, and I'm looking forward to see you again safe and sound and hear everything that you discovered in this unexplored land where you're going. Then again, of course, I will hold my end of the bargain. And given that it's true what I read, I will deploy and use my powers on you. And then again, if the artifact doesn't seem to work as intended or as I read it would, then again, I will try and heal you nonetheless. Given that, given what I read, the chances will be a little bit slimmer, but then again, I will do my best, as it is my end of the bargain.
So be it.
It's certainly more chance than we have at the moment.
Indeed. Pragmatic and practical, yes. More chances that you actually have. There aren't really many words to describe how thankful I am for of you, and I really hope that I can repay the kindness and the self-sacrifice that you are putting yourself into without actually knowing me. So I thank you for that, and Godspeed. Grant to this Lord Brian's speech actually kind of reacted the way that you did, Riccardo.
Just grunts.
Just grunts. Also because you might make out from his facial expression and the high rolling and whatever, he may be too much accustomed with Lord Brian pomposity and humbleness and long speeches and thankfulness and figures of speech and whatnot. Just he cannot bear it anymore. So as soon as Lord Brian is done with this thank you speech, he just points you towards a back door going into the backyard of the church. Like, I got your horse, Mr. Riccardo, and I got 2 fresh horses for Brother Jerome and John to let us get out of this godforsaken city sooner rather than later. So,
Easy, Jude. Easy.
so please hop on your horses and we are on our merry way. Again, if there's nothing that you want to do right now before leaving the city, I assume you just hop on your horses and throttle your way out of town.
Yeah, I can't think of anything.
Yeah. Unless we want to get some sort of basic supplies, food stuffs and so on.
You got that.
If there is any.
Yeah, Lord Brian made sure you got something.
Okay.
So you see that most of your horses, especially his, Grant's, as stuffed bags with, you assume, first aid necessities, foods, some bread and whatnot. Yeah, I told Brian that would have been too much of food, what you can see here, but he didn't really care or listen to what I just told him, so yeah. We got food. If you were scared you, we wouldn't have. And as soon as you walk fastly towards the city gates, you start hearing some Hanese folk screaming and shouting slurs or just straight out insults towards you, what you assume are foreigners. So you actually think that maybe Lord Brian did see it right about what would have happened if you would have stayed. So actually that was maybe a right call on his part. But then again, you wouldn't be here to face the rage of the masses or the medieval black blocs going all over your asses because you are heading out of town into the countryside.
Makes me wonder if this town is worth saving.
Good
I beg your
riddance.
pardon?
It makes me wonder if this town is worth saving.
It's not about this town. It is about its people. All lives are worth saving. If that were not the case, then what is heaven for?
Well, the Lord casts evildoers into hell as well, brother. But I suppose it is him who judges, not us.
All we can do is give our brethren, our flock, the best chance.
Well, with this plague loose in the countryside, I wouldn't be too sure that we're not already in hell.
Certainly, I believe some scholars would argue the possibility that we are living in some sort of purgatory, but I dismiss such things.
Oh, I'm sure it's going to get worse than this, John. I'm
It
sure of
always
it.
does.
Is there anything you might want to ask Grant?
I take the
Actually,
hint, but I can't think of anything right now this second.
Does he have an idea of how long it will take us?
given that I actually brought Lord Brian, sorry, to this place, but it wasn't really able to see anything. I would say that about 7 hours we're there. But then again,
Oh,
I
that's
was
not so bad. I thought it was a couple of days. That's not so bad.
all your horses, not these horses, but you get the gist.
Which direction are we
I can-
traveling in, by the way? Is it south?
It's north.
We're going north. Okay.
Yeah, because in
So,
Chelsea,
proper cross-country,
at the
okay.
south, it's got the sea. So
Well, yeah,
whether
yeah. But
you head north or east or west, but you're heading north.
the point is, we're not going kind of south-ish along the road. We're
No.
actually going literally cross-country, straight up.
Exactly. And Grant adds that it will take you 7 to 8 hours to reach the entrance of this place. I can get you to the door.
Wait, what?
That's what I'm tasked to. Beyond that point, I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
Well, be on your guard then, doorman.
Why?
Oh, what? Sorry, what is this place? When you say door, is it
Sounds like he doesn't really
some sort of church or?
Actually, then again, I saw with my what's the word that Lord Brian's uses? No, it's not mortal. It's unaware. Yes, what I saw with my unaware eyes could be described not just. It wasn't really a building, but it was more of an arch, like a patio arch, engulfed with daffodils. It's like an archway into a garden, but there's no garden because this arch just comes out of the fucking swamp. And apparently, as Lord Brian said, drifters are able to open the door and go beyond it, beyond the tapestry, whatever it's called.
And out of character question, but am I imagining it or not that it's August at the moment?
Yeah, it's August.
Chat, I think his heart wants to go
And
sleep.
by your
Funny time for
tone,
daffodils to bloom.
In these strange times, I assume nature has found its own quirks.
Yeah, I'm not that into plants and flowers,
That's all right.
but
Mary, did
I
you say the
assume
last
that's the wrong season for them
in
to
that section?
blossom. But I mean, that's strange, but I'm not investigating that. Rather than there is some different people able to go to places where the commonality of people it's not able to go. I mean, that's just more than I am willing to chew. I'm not going to focus or dangle too much on the blossom season for flowers. Don't really care.
by your tone, I take it you don't entirely believe Lord Bryant.
Well, I actually saw him healing people. So I am a believer about what he does. I do also believe that he spent too much time on books, and well, as I have already made clear to Brother Jerome, I'm not able to read, but those books. I mean, I am a hunter at heart. I grew up hunting in these very fields, and while something is wrong, I can feel my hair stick out of the back of my head. You know, out of tension and fear and whatnot. Those books gave me the kind of same feelings, just by the look of them. So I'm not really sure about their contents because then again, all I have are rather Lord Brian's words for it. I do believe that he's too certain about what he's reading. And then again, he told you about the problems in translation that he's not able to make out the general meaning. If you would have seen those books, I am thoroughly sure it is a skull you're looking for, not a cup.
Stop eating
Those books are ominous. They cannot refer to just a regular cup. Even the Grawl itself
I would have thought some mark sticks.
would be quoted in that book. It's an all other ground of knowledge that I'm not willing to venture into.
I would have thought some mark sticks.
Well, either way, they sound powerful, these books. Whether your superior is dabbling in things that are too powerful for him, we are yet to find out.
Let's hope for our sake he's not.
What are your thoughts on mark sticks?
For your sake is not. What I'm just trying to say is that you might as well trust Lord Brian, because I'm trusting him somewhat myself. But then again, don't lower your guard. Whatever it is you might find beyond that door. Because whatever it is put into those books, which I'm not able to make out on my own, doesn't sound very welcoming.
I was going to say there wasn't a convenient picture of the MacGuffin like you get in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, is there? That you could have seen.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Anything else you wish to ask him?
No, I think we've got pretty much everything now. Or I do.
Are there any more of these abominations that you've seen roaming around here or anything like them?
Not as far as I can say. I
Good.
mean, I would remember if I saw one, but then this, I don't know, these disappearings, these murders, these foul beasts that came to the cemetery, they're all somewhat close together. Yeah, I mean, Winchelsea has always been like a town of passage. A lot of people come in, a lot of people go out. Some of them stay for a couple of days. Most of them end up staying here. But these weird things are happening more frequently by the day for the last couple of months. I'm not that man of faith like Lord Brian is or you, Brother Jerome, are, but I do believe that something is afoot here. I cannot put my finger on it, but something wrong is happening. Then Lord Brian starts rambling and talking about unawares, drifters, tapestry, veil, whatever you want to call it. I don't know.
Yeah. What is this unaware? Is it something that you just have, or is it something that all drifters have?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I thought that Lord Brian make it clear for you. Those unawares are those who are not drifters, common folk,
Ah,
which are per se unaware of how things really are. That's how Lord Brian put it to me, so that my easy brain could grasp the concept of it, like I'm some stupid kid. But then there are the vast majority of us who are unaware, living in the material world, in this so-called purgatory, like Brother Jerome said just moments prior. And then there are drifters that apparently are individuals which are infected by some sort of disease and are able to see another layer of reality, which is somewhat separated from it, somewhat overlapping it. And as far as I'm told, this archway where I'm leading you is a tiny spot where these two realities overlap, so that gifted people, drifters, whatever you want to call yourself, are able to go through, come back. Unless it closes its, I guess. But I'm not sure that it is actually a possibility. I wasn't said anything about the chances of the doorway closing.
So, you don't rule out the possibility that our journey into this gateway could be a journey with no way of returning.
What I'm trying to say is that I don't know bloody nothing about what you're heading into. I just know what Lord Brian told me, and apparently it's just like having a stroll down at Portsmouth and then coming back.
At this point, I raise my eyes skyward and I say simply, Lord, forgive us, for we know not what we do.
Yeah, but then again, it's not me who decided it was a good idea to go God knows where, hoping to make it out in one piece. Of course, I'm cheering for you lads, but there's really not much that I can do for you.
Given our circumstances, a small hope, however slender, is more than we had yesterday or the day before. So I will grasp it with both hands.
As you finish this sentence, Brother Jerome, you see that Grant raises his fist which is a universal command for
Yeah.
stop. And you've been traveling for, you might say, about 4 to 5 hours. And you see that Grant, of course, is still grooming and brooding, etc. But a general sense of uneasiness travels his face, and yours as well. While as soon as you figure out what is distressing him so much, and you see somewhat like fog coming out of the ground. And as much as daffodils are not that common in this season, nor is fog in the middle of August.
What? How soft is the ground that we're on?
It is an actual field you're in. You're not following any pathway or any
Okay.
actual path or road. So it is
Okay.
loose terrain with grass and whatnot.
Okay. I don't know the exact technique because I'm not equestrian at all, but I guess kind of pull on the reins a bit to get you to back up a bit, like just away from the fog a bit. See, kind of scan my eyes around, see if it has a source or a way we can get around it.
It doesn't look like it. And as soon as Grant told you to stop, you see that now you are completely engulfed by it. Even back where you came from. It's all fog covering to about half your horse's legs. You're not able to see the ground below.
Swirling around like at the bottom.
Yeah. As for now, it is.
Can we see like around us, like ahead and stuff, or is it kind of engulfing?
You're actually able to see all around you, but just bear in mind that you are in an open field. So yeah, you can still determine where the sky is because you see clouds and the sun and a couple of trees somewhere, but you got no points of reference for you to make out exactly where you are.
So it's just like half a meter deep right across the field.
Give or take, yes. And of course, Grant is not that enthusiastic about the situation, as none of you are. Well, I wasn't expecting fucking fog in the middle of August.
I've never seen fog like this. Usually it's just surrounds you above and below and all around.
This is like smoke, but thicker, and you can't see where from.
Yeah, I assume there aren't many swamps where you're from.
No.
It is kind of common around here, but not this time of year. So, as far as I'm concerned, I am still able to make our way towards our end of the journey.
We'll follow.
I would rather suggest you stick to me and to each other before anything happens.
Should we dismount and go on foot, leading our horses?
I don't know how affectionate you are to your horse, but if someone steps where you shouldn't, I rather prefer it's my horse rather than me. So it's up to you.
Follow his lead for now, then.
Yeah, we recommend we stay on the horse, then that's what we'll do.
And you go on for what, given that, again, you got no reference points, looks like you've been marching for another 3, 4, 5 miles You're not actually sure, but now you're not able to see anything around you. The fog is completely engulfing everything, but you see that Grant, from one of his bags, is taking out a rope. It is a loose rope that gives to any of you so that you make a line of horsemen.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he says, I am leading a little bit so that you will feel where I'm pulling. Don't let go of the rope. He starts pulling, and after a couple of your horse's throttles, you feel something running in between your horses, and you are left with a piece of rope into your hands, which is not connected to anything else.
We can't even see him in front of us.
No, but we do see that we got a 5 minutes break.
Ooh.
No, that's
We
not a
see.
way to do it.
Smooth.
See you in 5 minutes.
Yep.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Mommy.
How you doing?
Yeah, right.
Got over Expo?
Yeah, just about.
Sounded quite good from what Becky was saying. You enjoyed yourself?
Well, of course, we always do.
No, it's not.
I suppose it was busy.
Oh, yeah.
I saw
Yeah.
what was it, 60 odd thousand visitors over the
Yep.
weekend.
Yep.
Wow.
And also, the Thursday night was particularly busy because there was a Tool concert.
Ooh,
So after that concert, they all descended on the bars, and it was absolutely chock-a-block.
They can't usually keep beer in the bars anyway.
No. Well,
it looked a good event.
aye, it was. And the Hilton seemed a little bit more organised, but the bar staff were still slow as hell. They were so chill. They were just like, just moving at like 2 miles an hour. It's like, I have a game to go to. Will you hurry up? Although I did some little hacks this year. Like I took some iced tea sachets. Just asked for a glass of water, and then you put it in, stir it round.
It's one way of doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And the final of the Cthulhu Masters was great. I can't wait to see the scenario in print in the Gaslight books, so I can run it.
Mm.
I'm just witness my friend.
And yeah.
Right, who had the best stand this year then? What was
Just
good?
witness my friends get pulled into the water.
For the best stand.
Yeah.
Ooh. That's kind of a hard question because we did have some time in the trade halls, but not that long. So we were just kind of running around looking for stuff that we were wanting, rather than talking to people for a long time. Because yeah, again, Sunday was quite busy, so it was more like favorite board games and stuff.
Hello.
We played a lot of Sky Team, and we played not Wingspan. We played Wormspan.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yes, I
Becky
saw
said
the
to her,
picture.
yeah, played that.
I'm very tempted on that game.
Mm.
I mean, I've played Wingspan and I like it, but
They just tore
It's got dragons.
Wingspan, but dragons. Essentially,
Mhm.
Wingspan with dragons just is like, yeah, we'll have that.
Yep.
I'm kind of tempted on that one, I have to say.
Who is it? The same company that does that?
Yeah.
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 Well, it's all under the same company that did Scythe.
Yeah.
Oh,
was
okay.
it
Which is a
Stone
bloody
Mail?
good game as well.
Mm.
So yeah, I've seen Wormspan on table at the club, and it does look good.
Yes. It is.
Okay. So, hopefully I didn't scare you too much.
Nah. We're
Nah.
just getting started.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so from where we left off, you were holding to a rope, and now you're just hanging by your little piece of rope with a
Is it-
general clue of where the others are, because you were all kind of sticking together. But other than that, you're not entirely sure. You are confident where the person close to you is. As for the next one, hello. As for the next one, you're not really sure. Oh, okay. Sorry.
I was going
Then-
to ask, is the rope completely limp?
The piece you're holding onto, yes.
Okay.
As in, let's say, Riccardo, you were between Grant and John. Now the rope has gone limp both sides.
Uh-huh.
Whether you were on the end of the line, one part was already limp, and the other goes as well. You also heard, rather felt, this gust of wind coming in between you, and soon after, you found yourself in the situation I just described.
Did we hear anything with that feeling of something was in past, or was it just more of a feeling that nothing heard?
This is different.
And again, it's like when you hear a strong but short gust of wind.
Like a whistle.
Like a whistle, yes. But other than that, nothing. Of course, you now hear Grant rumbling and somewhat screaming of "fuck me, what the fuck has happened, what was that, blah 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 blah." But his voice comes a little bit muffled, as in it feels like he's screaming from another room. Like there is a wall in between you, even though you know you are in an open field, so there's no reason for sound to behave this way.
Can I draw my short sword and charge forward? Because the only way Riccardo can rationalize this is he's being attacked by another one of those beast fell things.
By doing so, you are leaving the others behind. That is,
I look back first and shout, "Quick, this way!" And then I charge.
Okay.
Are you letting go of the rope?
I mean, yeah, I don't want to get rope burn, do I? So.
What about the two of you, John and Jerome?
Well, I mean, we better not split up. We better follow him.
Yep.
If we can keep up with him. I mean, I'm a bit worried about the horse maybe sticking a hoof down a rabbit hole or something and be going ahead over heels.
Perfect. So you all charge towards the general direction where you heard the muffled voice of your companion Riccardo go. And as soon as you start to follow, you hear Grant, "What the bloody hell are you doing? You don't even know the road." And you quickly leave him behind. Now you are charging head first into the unknown because you're not able to make out anything. But after a while of heavy duty riding, your horses start to feel a little bit unease. They're not they're not still compelled by your orders to push forward. They are pulling back a little bit. Of course, if you still push them, they are obeying your orders. You can, especially you, Riccardo, that you got your beloved horse with you. They are somewhat not doing what you're saying that willingly.
Okay. I'd like to use my bond, if I may. Just to kind of coax Jude forward at the same rate. basically give him some food, and whisper that the quicker we go, the quicker we can leave this place.
Oh, I do
Okay.
like that idea.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm not going to ask you for a roll because feeding your horse is an automatic action. So I do applaud and enjoy that you put that into the game. By asking for a roll, that doesn't really add anything to what could happen. So I applaud your taking all the parts of your character sheet into account, but that's as good as it is.
Mhm.
You feel now your horse a little bit easier under your saddle, maybe somewhat happy that it's been fed, of course, as anyone or any companion would be. And it starts throttling its merry way until it stops suddenly. The setting all around you is as quiet as a grave. Nothing moves. Utter and complete silence. You're not even able to make out your horse's breath under you if they were not actually actively breathing in between your legs. While suddenly, I would say you, Riccardo, because of the hunter feat that you gave your character, you see something glowing in the distance, not that far from you. You would say about a couple yards. It is red, but it doesn't look like a torch or a candle because, as I said, the fog is very thick. You feel rather than hear the presence of your companions behind and at the sides of you. So also, who or what would have actually lit a torch in front of you in the middle of nowhere? Then this red light is coming towards you, gaining definition as it comes closer. You see that this red orb, as it approaches, splits into two red orbs. They're getting closer. They gain more definition. You're now very confident. Those are eyes. But you never saw eyes glow this kind of red.
Obviously, I sort of take out my cross and I sort of put it in front of me.
Now, for the first time in several minutes, where you didn't hear a single noise from all around you, you feel this growling coming from this presence in front of you. Some sort of laughter.
Human, what do you think of the cross will do to me?
And it charges towards Riccardo.
Of course, me. Would I be able to, like, use a quick reflex to try and get Jude up on his hind legs to make himself, really big and just try and scare it?
Yes, but before you do that, I just wanted to make a little bit of a post-it note on your virtual whiteboard. We are now into combat. As
Oh, fuck.
yes, as Your roll arm, you will do just fine. But I just want to remind you that combat here does not work on initiative, like D&D, Pathfinder, Call of Cthulhu. Okay. Also, I do recall you that I won't be rolling any
Okay.
dice.
The king,
So
sorry, the king
the
has got
the players, which is of course you, will act. You will tell me what your character does, and tell me what kind of points or dice you're willing to roll. Given that you must at least roll whenever your blood dice and an attribute, which is cerebrum, viscera, etc. Other than that, if you got something that might aid into the narration of your action, you might justify it to me.
Which is the judge?
And of course, this will translate into a roll. Whatever roll you are going to do, 5 or 6 is a success. Whatever roll you're rolling under is a failure. If you're rolling a 6 on the black dice that you have, that counts as 3 regular successes. Whether if you roll a 1 on your black dice, it does erase a regular success on the white dice.
Good.
Okay, so I am setting a difficulty level for you to actually hit the creature. Anything exceeding this difficulty is actual damage you do to this creature. Anything below is the damage the creature does to you. Again, I'm not rolling any dice. Whatever happens, it will be your doing. I
It's
want
our
no
fault.
part of it. It's your fault, basically. Yes. So then again, there is no initiative. Whatever you feel like doing, it's perfectly fine. You're all acting one after the other. And then with the rolls that you make, the outcome will be clear to you. Any damage you take adds a black dot on your blood level. Once you would black out the 4th dot under your blood, which you don't have because you got 3, you erase the 2 blacks that you already have, if you do, and decide what attributes or bond or feature you're willing to corrupt. Okay? Those are the basic mechanics. If a particular situation rises up, we will address it as it does.
Okay. So
Okay.
once you go to a 4th corruption, you would wipe the corruption from the blood, and you have to add a corruption to
Exactly.
one of the others. And yeah, right. Okay, got that.
Just remember that the first point of blood is always corrupted.
Yeah.
So once you erase anything, you will still have 1 corruption in blood.
Ah, right. So you don't
Given
go back
that,
to 0.
just imagine that you are already corrupted by the illness. Unless you are treated, which maybe will happen, maybe not, you will never be pure-blooded. Your blood is and will be tainted by your current situation.
Yes.
Are
we good?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's make an example out of what Jayson said wanted to do. So you're trying to raise your horse in order for him to kick with his front legs.
Yeah,
and
kick,
maybe-
look big, intimidate. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So I would say that given your reaction, reflex reaction, okay, beside your blood, you would add I don't think you would add cerebrum because that will imply a thought behind it.
I would say
You're
nerves.
just, yeah, exactly. Or nerves or viscera, but I'm more pointing towards nerves because you're acting out of pure instinct.
Yeah. That's what I
That's
was
what you're
thinking.
doing.
Okay.
Also, you're actually using your horse, which is your bond.
Mm-hmm.
So you might
Yep.
add that to the
Oh yes, I
pool.
definitely will.
Okay.
So I've got 3 white, and then my blood is all corrupted, so 3 black.
Is it all corrupted yet?
Yeah.
I do recall giving you 1 point of corruption. That would make you 2 corrupted and 1 blank.
I'm sure you did it twice at one point, but I am happy to.
I
Well,
do
do that.
recall that the night mass that you added in all determined 1 point of corruption for each one of you.
Okay.
I genuinely don't recall any other occasions where you would have hurt yourself physically or mentally. But
Well,
if you
then
say
I
I'm
believe you.
mistaken, just tell me when I was mistaken so that I could retrace my steps.
I don't remember. It's just what I've got written down. Okay, fine. So we'll go with that. So then 4 white and 2 black. So
Perfect.
white first.
Okay.
Oh,
Before you read, the difficulty is 2.
okay. And then black dice. Okay, so I believe I've very got it. So 3 success on the white dice and 1 success on the black dice.
As in a 5 or a 6 on the black dice?
A 6.
Okay, so a 6 on the black dice counts as 3 regular successes. So you made 6 successes.
6 successes.
Fuck you, man. Okay. That's perfect. So given that you passed the difficulty by 4, that translates into 4 damage to the creature.
Mm-hmm.
What about the others? What are you doing?
I'm actually somewhat buoyed up by the fact that whatever this thing is, it's just got a right good hoofing.
I didn't miss it that time.
You did not miss it that time. No, you did
No.
not. I'm actually gonna move forward slightly. Still with my cross in hand. And in reply to the voice's dismissal, I say, it is not the cross that will cause you pain. It is the faith that powers it.
Okay, so I would say that you might as well roll your blood, your heart.
I was going to say my heart had to be the one. It's pure faith, surely, at this point.
Exactly. Also, you're not actually attacking the creature, so you might as well use your name, the gentle, which is another die.
Yeah.
As a clergyman, as I recall, maybe it was one of your features. That's an additional die.
One of my virtues is a priest. Yeah.
Perfect. So what that does up to? Does add up to?
Fuck. So I've got 3 in blood, but 2 are corrupted. So
that's 2 black and 1 white.
2 black, 1 white. I've got 3 in heart.
So that's 4 white and 2 blacks.
And 2 blacks?
Still from the blood. I am adding everything together.
Oh, yeah, sorry, right.
Because you roll every dice together. So you're now 4 and 2.
I'm holding on to my cross, which is a material, because it's one of my bonds.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Also. So you got to add 3 more dice for your name, your cross, and your priest.
Okay.
That's a 7 white and 2 blacks. That's a shit ton of dice.
Yeah. fucking creaming this thing.
Yes.
I just want to say that I actually pulled exactly 7 white and 7 black dice out my bag earlier. Right. Okay. So what are successes on white dice?
5 and
5 and
6.
6.
5s and 6s, right? So 3 successes
Okay.
on the white. And I have rolled a 6 on one of the black die.
That's another 3 then.
That's another 6 successes. Okay.
I don't know what my faith's doing to it. Right. I did roll 2 1s on the whites, though.
2 1s. Yeah, that doesn't really add up to anything. It is
Right.
bad when they are rolled on the black dice.
Oh,
On
in
the
that
white
case,
dice,
we're
it's
fine.
just a regular failure. It's not
fine.
that bad
Marvel
as
Black's
it might
a
be.
3.
Okay, yeah, don't worry. So, again, the difficulty was 2, so you exceeded that by 4.
Yeah.
So
basically,
what
the power of faith.
I just said,
I'm
What I'm
hoping to try and
saying
push
is-
him
I
back.
just said really used
What I'm saying is, before getting to Phil, because of course John will have something to do with this, the creature charges Riccardo, which of course backs up with the horse a little bit. As you come and speak about faith and redemption and the strongness of your Christianity, the creature just looks at you a little bit, goes to laugh at you again because it doesn't really care about your beliefs, about your wooden cross and whatnot, that it gets stumbled upon by Riccardo's horses. Horse, just one. Horse hooves.
They're multiplying.
Exactly. That's how good you rolled.
Which got kills.
And exactly. And its eyes rather disappear. You were not still able to make out the physiognomy of these creatures, but his eyes are no more. They just disappeared.
Aye, aye.
Phil,
Yes.
you get the general gist of what just happened because you heard Brother Jerome mentioning something. You're not really sure what to make out of the whole sentence given how noise behaves in this situation, but he then starts mentioning God and Christianity and whatnot. Suddenly, you're not able to see that set of red eyes anymore. But on the right, you see a couple more lighting up.
Uh-oh.
To the right, is that to the right of what? Riccardo or Brother Jerome? Are they side by side? Which one?
The way I imagined is Brother Jerome's side.
Oh, okay.
Because I imagined Riccardo leading the charge.
Yeah.
After the rope was cut, and you and Brother Jerome behind, side by side, but following behind them. So then I assumed Brother Jerome stepping a little bit further to address this creature, and now these creatures are coming the opposite way from you.
Sure.
That's how I imagined it.
I'll shout a warning to Brother Jerome. Oh, brother, to your right, another one.
So you are just. Is there any action you're willing to make rather than just?
How close
noticing.
is it to Jerome?
You might say about a yard.
Oh,
they are closer than the first. Than the first orb.
Okay,
They're
then
way closer, coming from a different direction, but closer.
I'll spur my horse forward then, and I'll use my quarterstaff and I'll swing down with the quarterstaff to try and bat it.
Okay. So, what are you willing to, given that now you got 2 examples of roles, are you willing to build your pool on your own, or you want to do that together? Given this is the first combat, etc.
Would that be more nerves or viscera?
What about cerebrum?
Yeah, can do.
You're actually ponderating the possibility that Brother Jerome didn't see the light, the eyes glow up, but you did. And then you decided actively to charge them in order to offer shelter and protection to Brother Jerome. So it's either, I would say, it's either cerebrum or heart, because you are acting out of affection for Brother Jerome to put him away from harm's way.
I'll use cerebrum then.
Okay. And
So
do you
as
have
a word for
anything else that you're willing to put and add into the pool? I do recall something about your sister. What was the sentence about your sister?
Importance of my roots. My sister's locket was the item.
Yeah, that's a little bit stretched.
Yes, that's what I thought. Yeah. I don't know that I have, to be honest.
What kind of feature did you put down?
What kind of
the features? As in Scandrol, I think you put. I said features, but I don't recall what it is referred to in English. So I'm just looking at the
virtues.
Oh, okay. I see.
Virtues. Yes. I meant
Virtues. Rascal, alert, and skillful hands.
Oh, skillful hands.
I was thinking about Scoundrel because given that maybe you stole a little bit more than you could chew, maybe you needed to flee the guards, and maybe you had your fair amount of riding horse combat.
Yeah, possibly.
So possibly you could add that. Even skillful hands might work.
So is that just one white? Is it, or is that a black as well for that? Do we close it with a black?
As much as you're able to justify.
Okay. I think 6 dice. I think 3 of each is what I can do. Yeah.
I'm sorry, your voice went out a little bit.
Oh, sorry. I think 3 of each is what I can do. So I think that is that's 2 white successes. That's what I've got.
You got how much?
2 white dice successes.
Just 2?
Yeah. I've got a 2 and 2 3s on the black dice, and a 5 and a 6 and a 4 on the white dice.
Oh.
Okay. So the first thing that I really hoped it didn't come out because I'm not that familiar with.
I've had a dice delivery from Scotland.
Yeah, no, it's
Dice
about
delivery
a
from
draw.
Scotland.
What
Hey.
happens with the draw?
Hey, dice delivery so far from Scotland has been fairly potent, thank you very much. For once in my life, the fucking dice behaved themselves.
Okay, so I'm just reading a little bit for the draw because it was somewhat peculiar and I want to get it right. Just give me a second.
That's okay.
Ok, combattere, pareggiare, ok. Oh, fuck me, okay. Okay, so basically, usually when you roll and it is a draw on the difficulty that I set, usually outside of combat, that's a failure. Generally, But given that this is a combat, as I told you beforehand, to draw an exchange of blows, like what just happened, implies that a new situation arises that modifies the, you might say, the arena, the battling field, etc., which is also totally impartial to both the players and the enemies. So here, for example, makes an example of a torch falling in the middle of a barn, or an old tree falling down, or creating an avalanche, or recalling some evildoers or evil entities. So what I'm saying is, might as well. I don't know. What do you all think could happen to change the setting without modifying the needle of the balance in your favor or in the creature's favor? After what John just did.
Well, I can't help but think of the Swamps of Sadness scene, but I'd rather not do that because that's just depressing.
Also, that would be actually pretty bad for John and pretty good for
Exactly.
creatures.
Exactly.
What I would say is that if you are all right with this, because then again is a common effort that we are building together. Yeah, you are now in the middle of a swamp. You charge towards the creatures, thus ending into this puddle of water. These creatures that were eyeing Brother Jerome are now caught off guard by your screaming, "Brother Jerome! They're coming from your side," and charging them, that are now following you. But you are all now into this puddle. So movements is a little bit more difficult, especially for them. You don't know why, but I shouldn't have said, but for them it's particularly difficult, but also for you, because it is pretty deep as a puddle, and then again you are riding a horse which is trying its best to make it out of the puddle, thus regaining an advantage point. So nobody gets any damage, but now you are in this different situation.
We're a bit wet.
Okay.
A bit wet, exactly. Of course, as I said before, I'm not acting, and we just described the outcome of Riccardo and Brother Jerome dice rolls and the demise of this first creature. You heard what John just said, and you even heard him curse him a little bit, because now he's getting wet along with his horses, with his horse, just one. Fuck me. Okay. Also, you see another pair of sets of eyes surrounding John. I would say we take the order of initiative, which is not initiative, that we just did. So there will be Riccardo turns again.
I think rather than the kind of mindset of, oh no, now John is in trouble, I need to save him, kind of, empathy, because Riccardo obviously hasn't got any of that. I think he's going to see how, one set of eyes went down pretty easily thanks to him and Jerome, and then suddenly a couple more appearing. I think, given the situation is starting to, from what you can see, tilt in their favor, he's going to potentially start seeing red himself and just go for the nearest one that he can see with his short sword and just try and hack it just as quickly and as recklessly as possible with a scream.
I am adding a little more mechanic, which evens out. But just to remind you, I could give you malus and bonuses to the threshold for a success. If I'm giving you a malus, only the 6s counts. If I'm giving you a bonus, even the 4 or the 3s might count.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
what I would say is, given that now you are really dry and you heard that John is now into a puddle, jumping into that would be a malus on your part. That would also make you easier for you to eat this creature, because that you know of is not riding any creature of sorts. So that would be a malus against the bonus that evens out. So the difficulty is still 2. The threshold is still 5. So any success is considered on a roll of 5 or 6.
Okay.
Again, I would say you're acting out of pure instincts, I assume.
I was thinking more viscera for this one, because he's more concerned about, like, he's being fueled by, like, the anger is taking over and the rage is taking over him now.
Perfect. Yeah. I'm rolling with that.
Rather than like the more defensive thing with the horse. So that's kind of my line of thinking anyway. So that's 3 white dice. I've got my dagger as a bond that I could use technically if you're being lenient, but if not, that's okay, because technically I'm not using that.
What about your name, though?
Riccardo the Bloody. As long as they draw blood. Okay. And then right. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6 white dice and 2 black dice.
Okay. Go with it.
Okay. So that is 3 successes on the white dice and nothing on the black.
Okay. Perfect. What about you, Brother Jerome?
I've sort of kind of raised myself a little, and sort of call out. You have replied and conversed. You are clearly intelligent. You must understand that we are simply travelers. We mean you no harm. Our actions so far have been in defense. Please allow us passage. We mean no harm to you or to your home.
Okay, so I would say it's just the same role as before, but since you didn't take into account nor your faith nor your cross, you're not rolling those white dice.
No, but I would get the dice for diplomat, which is one of my other virtues.
Enough. That's enough. Yeah. So if you rolled 7 white dice earlier, now it's down to 6.
6 and
2 black dice.
2 black dice. Well, I got 1 6 on the white die, and I got 1 6 on the black die, and I got no 1s on the black die.
Good.
That's good. So that adds
4
up
successes
to...
then.
Okay, perfect. Then again, you see that, of course, you were right in the assumption that these creatures were somewhat sentient, because they reply to you even after being mauled by Riccardo's short sword.
How about you go fuck yourself, clergyman?
What
a
about you,
lovely
Phil?
Singing voice. Such a lovely singing voice you must have, to quote the great Ghostbusters film.
Mm-hmm.
Phil, it's up to you.
Can I? I'm actually sitting in this water now. I take it, not on my feet yet. So I want to try and get up, and I'll try and spin this quarterstaff around my head like that. I get at these things to try and scare them away, or hit one if I possibly can.
Okay. So, to add a little bit of spice to the situation, I would say that given your position, which is pretty close to where Riccardo jumped into the puddle, the threshold for a success now is 6. Otherwise, you might as well hit Riccardo.
I'm going to hit
It's
Riccardo.
not going to be the best time to piss him off.
Don't hit Riccardo. This is not. Ricardo's not in his best mind.
Well, judging the last time I rolled 6 dice and got 2 successes, Riccardo better duck.
It's
I might
either
duck,
you.
I might duck as well, just for the hell of it.
No, I'm sorry. That would have been unfair, because the successes shall reflect on your character. So I would say that you feel the presence of Riccardo pretty close to you. So going, swinging a quarterstaff, hoping to hit something. Yeah, it's the right thing, but that might hurt your companion. So I would say that given that you are trying to swing it as far as possible without hitting a fair mate, you might fall out of the saddle and into the water.
Okay, yeah, I'll try and do that without. I thought I was already in the water. I thought I'd already come off the saddle. I must have heard that.
No, you're still on your horse, but now your horse is
sorry.
into the water and you are kind of there. But you are still on the back of your horse.
Okay, then
Hey, if you spin it quickly enough, you'll be able to float.
Yeah. True story.
Can I leap from my horse towards it then, with my horse that's
God.
come down on it?
Okay, that's definitely a scoundrel move.
Yeah.
As in, it would require a little bit of acrobatics.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I would
that's
say about the same roll you did before.
Yeah.
Which was oh no, that was cerebrum earlier.
It was cerebrum.
Now I would say nerves.
Okay.
Because
Same
you're
roll,
acting out of pure instinct. As in, yeah, it's a good idea to jump out of stable situation. I mean, to end up God knows where.
Jumping on soft ground.
The last thing we can call this situation is stable.
I'll hit the only fallen tree in the whole swamp.
Roll your dice.
Oh, just drop one. Okay, so that's 3 successes on the white dice. 1 success on the black dice and 1 on the black dice.
Oh.
Okay, so I would say that if I recall correctly, the dark failures first delete the dark successes, if any.
Oh, okay.
I'm just checking it for good measure.
They drop a dice as well.
Yeah, it is still a success. I'm just trying to determine how much of a success it is.
Well, I had 4 successes and 1 black failure, so that would be 3 successes. I take it then.
Yeah, I'm just checking for What about the black fucking dice? The black fucking dice. Okay.
Those black fucking dice. What? That is just it's.
Okay. Oh. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I forgot. No. That's yeah. I assume that's it's not really specified because it says that a one on the black dice erases a success obtained on another d6.
Yeah,
So
same.
I would say that erases the best chances of success. So I would say it's like you didn't roll any black dice.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you still got 3 regular successes.
3 regular successes. Yes.
What I forgot, though, given that it happened a couple of times, and we will keep it into account, I will, rather than we, take it into account going forward, is that any black success
Leads to
gets you
corruption.
1 point of corruption.
Yeah, I forgot about that as well.
You
Yeah.
did technically say that.
Yeah, about a month ago when we started this session. Yeah, but I did not. So as we didn't
So
take it into account, it's
Yeah,
like
so we're starting now.
starting now. I am
Okay.
taking into account this.
No wonder we're doing so well.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself.
Also, it's like, of course, goes without saying. It's like Phil, even if you did and it was erased, you didn't get the corruption as well because it goes for the same number of rounds that the others did.
Yeah.
So they didn't take it. You're not taking it. That's only fair. Okay.
We're not gonna take it. No, we ain't gonna take it. We're not gonna take it this round.
Calm down a little bit because, of course, no, is it? 1, 2. Okay, so you're able to stand in balance on the back of your horse, leap forward, and just hit this creature in front of you on the head with your quarterstaff, falling into the water, which is not that deep, but it gets about half your thigh. So it's pretty deep. Let's say half your thigh or your waist.
Okay.
So let's take into account that if you're willing to do something acrobatic in the next turn, you will get necessarily a malus because now moving is coming a little bit more difficult given the mud and the water and the slippery terrain you're on.
Yep, sure.
But then again, that was a success, and you're now in melee with this creature. Riccardo, you're still mounting your horse, and you saw a shadow getting on the horse like it was a skateboard and jumping out of it and ending somewhere in front of you into the water. You assume that was John.
Okay.
You still see these 2 sets of red eyes.
There's still 2 of them. Okay. Okay. I think I might concentrate on one this time, but again, just try and assert our power, our dominance, and whatever. Fueled by anger, but also wanting to vanquish this set of unholy beasts and all that. He's gonna lash out again with his sword, but kind of straight down, almost like it sort of it penetrates the creature, but then he's going to try and just carve and like cut it open.
Mhm.
So make a point to give it a really quite gruesome death, as opposed to just a few stabs and cuts.
So I would say you might go with the same pool of dice that you just
Yes.
created for the last roll.
Yes. So was it 6 or 7? I think it was 7. Yes, it must be, because there's only 2. Oh wait, hold on. No. My brain is a memory. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it's 6, of course. Yeah, of course. Okay, nothing on the black. And 1, 2, 3 successes on the white.
Perfect. So you are able to vanquish the first of the 2 creatures. The one that was stabbed in the head, well, no, holy bonked on the head by John and mauled by you, and that sent brother Jerome his merry way down to fuck himself. That creature is vanquished. One is still remaining. Brother Jerome, is your turn.
I sort of put up my sort of hands, just empty hand, and say, there is no need for all of this bloodshed. We simply seek passage.
As in diplomat again.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would say once more.
Although it
blood,
has to be said, Riccardo's not helping with my diplomatic efforts here.
I might say you are not helping with this democracy export.
Yeah.
So I would say
Get that cross
blood.
back out. Make yourself useful.
I would say blood, heart, diplomat, and gentle once again.
Yeah, so it's 6 white and 2
black.
Black.
5s and 6s, right?
On the white.
Okay, I have 3 successes on the white, no successes on the black, but I have rolled a 1 on the black.
Oh.
Okay, so that's 2 successes, which is a draw, sorry, rather than a par, because we are not playing golf. But
it's all right, we know the golf town.
God damn it. I would say that while you're saying this with your hands in front of you, you're approaching this puddle because you remained out of it since you're not enclosed in combat. But in doing so, the horse is maybe scared by the general situation and the smell of this foul odor that's coming out of these creatures. And I would say that he sprints a little bit to your right and lets a rotten tree fall into the puddle. It does not hit anybody, so nobody is actually hurt, but that gives both your companions and the creature an easy way out of this muddy puddle. Does that work for you?
Okay.
Phil, now you got an advantage point that you might try and use. It is somewhat far away, and there is one set of eyes kind of close to you at your general height, so you assume they are in the water with you.
Okay. So it's just off to one side, is it?
Yeah, I'd say so. You are on the same side of the puddle, cornered by this rotten trunk that is fallen into.
I'll try and reach the trunk, but I'll try and push my way forward with my legs, but try and swim with my hands while I'm walking as well.
Mhm.
Or actually, I might even try and, maybe even with one hand and try and push with the quarterstaff, actually.
Okay. And is there something else you're willing to do once you reach the trunk? Or you are just trying to find safety there?
What I'm trying to do is I'm going to try and climb up on the trunk, and then I'm going to try and bat the thing from a more solid position. So when I'm up higher, I can hit down on it, but I need to get onto the trunk first.
Okay, so what I would say is that I lost you. Okay, what I would say is that reaching the trunk, of course, given you are fully clothed and with your hands occupied, would give you a penalty, a malus or a penalty. But attacking from the trunk will give you a bonus against the creature. So that's again an evening out of situations. So rather than there is actually a thought into this, I would say that you are using your cerebrum, and maybe I would say your skillful hand, rather than you are actually thinking about how to leverage your quarterstaff to move faster towards the trunk without getting it stuck into the bed of the swamp.
Okay.
Is it bad in English too? Yeah, you get the general meaning of what I'm trying to say, but roll whatever you end up with.
That's not good. So I've got a black success, a black failure,
Corruption.
and no white successes.
Oh, maybe not then.
So I've got no successes at all.
So
I do get a corruption, I take it.
what I'm let's go through what just happened. So your regular dice didn't roll anything above 5, is what you're saying.
Yep. A 1, 2, and a 3.
Very nice. But you rolled a 6, which is cool, but you get a corruption of your blood.
Yep. Okay, which makes 3 on my blood now. So
exactly, but nothing happens as of yet.
Okay.
What happens though is that you made 2 below the difficulty level that I set for you to eat the creature. So what I would say is that you are trying to push yourself and leverage with the quarterstaff towards the trunk, and you're actually able to make it towards the trunk. You push yourself up towards this trunk, which is not really stable because it is floating on the water rather than actually laying on solid terrain or ground. As you are balancing your way, maybe using your quarterstaff as circus acrobat, you do look beneath you in the water, and you see that these red eyes swiftly comes towards you. They grab you by your ankles and push you back out in the water, with you hitting your chest on the trunks.
Okay.
So you are getting 2 points of corruption.
2 points of corruption.
Because that's the difference. 2 successes to make 0 made. So that's 2. Basically, the first level of corruption erases and brings you to the start of your blood situation. So 2 whites and 1 corrupted. That's all. There always will be. The other corruption level that you're getting Oh, no, sorry. Okay, this erases but determines the corruption of a slot that you have. And you are deciding, we can decide together which one.
Okay.
But there is an exceeding point of corruption from this math. Because the first level of corruption, oh no, it brought you to 3. Okay, no, perfect. So you're ending up with 1 point of corruption in your blood. The 2
Yeah.
remaining are white, but you are looking for something else to corrupt.
No, because that point of corruption with blood will put me at 3.
The first one will put you at 3, and nothing happens. The
Nothing
second
happens.
one
Okay, second one puts me at
erases
okay.
sorry, I'm putting down the other fingers.
Yep.
The other one will erase the 2, but goes to corrupt something else.
Okay. And then all my blood clears back to the printed black one. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So
I
now
was
your
thinking-
blood is clean, as
Yeah.
clean as it can get, but you are going to corrupt something else.
I thought I might corrupt heart because I initially got into this trying to help Brother Jerome.
Oh,
Okay.
holding a grudge.
Okay.
That's the spirit.
Is that the way it's going to be?
Yep. Them's
Okay,
fighting words.
what I'm going to ask you will change what happens now. How many white slots do you have in your heart?
On heart. If I put that one in, I have 1 left because I only had
Okay,
1 initially.
Okay, so you got just 1 white slot on heart.
Left, yeah.
Perfect. Okay, now we are seeing together what happens when you corrupt.
No,
Everything.
I have 1 left after I put the corruption in.
Okay, so you got a total of 2 white slots.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I was asking. Okay,
Yeah,
so
sorry.
you corrupt 1, nothing happens. Okay,
But that's it now. All my nerves, cerebrum, heart, viscera. I've only got 1 slot left on all of them.
Yeah.
So the next time, we can do it next time.
no, you're just corrupting the first
Yeah.
white slot of heart. The others, the other attributes stay the same. They're not corrupted. You decided to corrupt your heart. The other are fine.
Okay. I might have done the sheet wrong.
Yeah, the thing is that up to 3, you
Yeah.
got white slots for your attributes.
Yes.
Okay, so you got at least 1, a maximum of 3. For example, Brother Jerome has 3 white slots in heart, if I recall correctly. In the beginning of the story, you start with no black dots on your attributes.
Right. Okay. I did do it wrong then, initially.
So
Fine.
Okay.
Just
all your attributes should be clean now, apart from having 1 bit of corruption on your heart. Because apparently you blame me for your failures.
yes. I sent you my sheet, Georgia.
Oh, you sent it to me. Okay, so let me just open Facebook.
Of course, you realize this means war.
Well, as I put in the chat there, if I weren't a peaceful man, it would be a declaration of war. But I'm a peaceful man.
Yeah, I can get away with it.
It's just a declaration of passive aggressive behavior.
It's just got to be nice to you.
Okay, it is clear what happened, but I'm clearing the air around a little bit. You put red squares on the where should have been white dots. Just imagine those stars as just outlined. So you got them, but they are white.
Okay, I got it.
Given what I see, you just got 1 in heart.
Yeah,
that was white and now turns black.
gotcha. No, I
Okay.
got you. I know what you're saying.
So you still got just one of heart, but every time that comes into play will determine a black die on your pool.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, gotcha.
Okay, so given that you had one white slot of heart to begin with, now it is all corrupted because you got one white slot that just turned black.
Yeah.
Okay, that determines something. Okay. Basically, what happens is that you are
Fuck me.
you are developing a stigmata.
Okay.
Basically, what
My brother
happens?
Jerome's going to be jealous as well now.
Yeah, it's not. That doesn't necessarily determine wounds on your hands or anything. That could take any form that you wish. Basically, they appear as physical plagues or mental or supernaturals that are determined by the spreading of the corruption into your body, specifically the heart. Okay, so basically is that this stigmata grants you, will in the future grant you some sort of limited supernatural power,
Ooh.
given that you are turning into a more unnatural creature. Okay, as far as you are concerned, Drifters was just a title that was given to you and was not really that grasped by you, what this would have determined on what not. Now, basically, okay, the stigmata is something we create together, and we should imagine in something that, of course, it is artful for your character, something that mentally or physically hurts your character. For example, it could be an amputation, a malformation, whatever you see fit for the attribute that you just corrupted.
Oh, for the okay.
It's not something that, of course, will, for example, determine a tumor at your heart or something like that. It's rather than what it represents, the heart, rather than the physical organ. Okay. Given that we are talking about ideals, loved, cherished feelings, etc., this might even translate into some sort of phobias, manic compulsive disorders, or whatever you see fit for
Well, being
the attribute to develop.
being the heart, then what about bleeding from the eyes?
Oh, that's gory. Yes,
Me
of
likey.
course. I'm loving it so much. Okay, so you're basically crying out of your eyes.
Yes.
Okay. And
Subconjunctival hemorrhage.
as
You're
I said
changing your
before,
name to Lashif.
no, because he didn't corrupt the name. Once he corrupts the name, we can try and give him another one if he will ever decide to. But now you just need to imagine that these blood tears coming out of your eyes, of course, they are seen as weird by the common folk because people
not
doesn't
surprised.
usually cry blood unless, of course, they are some Holy Mary statue in southern Italy, pun intended. It's something that gives you pain of sorts, and that hides a limited, a temporarily supernatural effect
Oh, okay.
that we are trying to think about. These are capabilities that will allow you automatic actions, not that cannot get any better with a dice roll. Okay, something that just happens, which is
okay. Would that be
which is of course good for you as in the outcome, but determines of course this pain and suffering and a little bit of stern looks from common people. As an example, could render anything that you touch beautiful to look at, or debilitate or kill lesser living beings, or maybe I don't know how to say that in English. I'm sorry, to playing a little bit, not actually flying, but to falling long, short distances.
Oh, so kind of gliding sort of thing.
Gliding, yes. I couldn't get the word. I'm sorry. Yes, like gliding for short distances,
Or might help for jumping
or
off horses like that.
or having short visions of someone who recently passed, or something like
Oh.
that.
When you
I
How
guess
about that then?
some,
Because that sort of fits in with my bonds with my sister. Visions of my sister.
No, I can just envisage you just calling her up to shout at her.
all I
Okay,
could think
I
about when you
just-
talk about the falling was Toy Story.
Mm.
This is flying. No, it's falling with style.
Style.
Okay, so since you said that you were willing to corrupt your heart because you were pushed by some sort of good feelings towards Brother Jerome to
Try and help her out.
put yourself, sorry, into harm's way to have him saved. That every time you are willing to use this action, your stigmata, which is again bloody tears, of course they will hurt like crazy. So it's not something that you will take lightly, narratively wise. But I would say that if that works for you, if you impart a simple order to some unaware people, they're willing to do your bidding, as far as it doesn't put themselves into harm
Oh, okay.
or something they wouldn't do because it's contrary to their beliefs, etc.
Oh,
For
that's
example, this won't work if you are telling somebody to jump off a bridge, or if you would say to a priest to kick a
Could
homeless
tell
person.
somebody to push someone else off the bridge.
Still, no. But maybe if it was maybe for you to order to somebody to fetch something inside of a building where you're not allowed into, they will go inside and fetch the item for you.
You know,
Or
you can,
if, like a vampire would charm somebody to
Oh, yes.
be let into the house, something like that, but determined by your bloody tears.
you're going to start making this particular priest very paranoid if you keep talking about that. Just,
I was
Again,
going to say, if we ever find Grant, just tell him to go beyond the veil and get the cup/skull and bring it out.
again, this would work on unawares.
Okay.
Yes.
So not against everybody, because as we read, it should determine an automatic action. It's not if you give an order to somebody and they can carry it out, you roll for it, they do it any better. They just do and
Yes.
don't. This is an automatic success on your part.
so when he does this whole stigmata thing, he can give a simple command to an everyday person, and if he succeeds in it, they will follow the command.
They feel automatically succeeds. If
Right.
to put the stigmata into play.
Okay.
Also, it would be an order that doesn't put people into harm's way,
So
such as jump off a bridge or cut yourself or anything,
so
and shouldn't be
he's
contrary to their beliefs.
he's not the chief. He's bloody Kilgrave.
No, Kilgrave once told somebody to fuck himself, and that was horrible to watch. Just to
Thankfully,
quote
we
Jessica
didn't get
Jones'
to
TV
see it.
series. Yes, thankfully, yes. Then again, this was just a nerdy quote. But yes, you unlocked the first stigmata out of the three of you, so kudos to that. And I would say that it activates. You find out that you have this because as you fell on the trunk, once this creature pulls your ankles, you maybe hit the head slightly on the trunk, even they are kind of strong to have pulled you this far off the tree. And your eyes now are a little bit more bulging than they were before. And maybe not like you're not like you're looking like a frog or an Innsmouth person.
Bulgy staring eyes.
They're slightly more bulging, and the trauma just made you
Yeah,
actually
that sounds good.
cry out blood for the first time. Okay, so this one
My,
is
what
still
an unusual
standing.
bulge you have.
Two.
That wasn't
What
really
big eyes you
necessary.
have.
Exactly, that was more like it.
I'm not doing a washing
Then
ever again.
again, it's now it's now Riccardo turns again.
Riccardo is going to be a bit of alert, seeing that there's one of these creatures left, and potentially also seeing the bloody tears. He's going to pull the short sword back out of the carcass, and without much thought, but making sure he has eye contact with the other creature, he's going to lick the blade.
Oh no. Okay.
You don't know where that blade's bit. Well,
That's the point. It's to show his toughness.
Okay, so
And then before doing another strike at it.
okay, that was disgusting because you don't actually know what these creatures are, but I do. So
I know.
just roll your dice to it.
Okay. Oh, that's a dropped
you
one.
can see the epitaph on his tombstone now. Here lies Riccardo the Bloody. He just had to fucking lick it, didn't he?
Not as good as I would have hoped. So I got one success on the white. I got a 6 and a 1 on my black dice.
Ouch.
Okay, so that just translates into one success.
With a corruption. Yes?
With a corruption, yes. So
Yeah,
you
okay.
now got actually the whole 3 slots of your blood,
Yeah,
whole blacked out, without nothing more adding up to the situation.
Yeah.
I will get to this outcome in a second, but I'm willing to let Brother Jerome have a word with this creature before describing what happened.
Oh dear
Sorry.
God. Yeah, it's just your compatriot is dead. Please, there must be a more peaceful way for us to deal with this situation. We cannot allow for this bloodshed. Please, let us go in peace.
Same roll as before.
So it's 6 and 2.
Just a second.
Well, well, well.
It's all black
they're going to
ones.
tell you to go fuck yourself again.
Just give me a couple of seconds. I'll be right there. Just
Okay.
Is it not good?
The suspense.
Well, it's kind of good, but in a not good way.
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
I have got vagary down to a fine art. It's a bit like my
Mhm.
it's a bit like my freeze frame. I'm
okay. Sorry, I'm back. What happened, Brother Jerome?
I rolled 1 white 6 and 1 black 6,
Ah.
but with
Okay.
no black ones. So
Okay, sorry, I didn't get what you said. So repeat.
1 white 6, 1 black 6, no black ones.
Okay, so 2 sixes, 1 white, 1 black. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So I take it then that's my 3rd point of corruption on my blood.
Perfect. So basically, you keep saying this to this creature, where of course the bloodshed is already in course. So yeah, it's done. And you see that this creature has just pulled John back into the puddle, climbed back on the trunk itself, looks at you slightly,
Will you ever shut up? It's not guts.
and jumps towards Riccardo.
He won't do it lie.
Given that you just rolled a success earlier, Jayson, I would say that the successes of Brother Jerome lets you hit the creature good enough, but not enough to kill him. But as he jumps towards you, he is able to claw your shoulder a little bit.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So you get an additional points of corruption.
Oh, now I have to start putting it into Summit. So,
Your blood goes back to 1 black and 2 white.
Yeah.
And you need to decide whatever you want to corrupt next. Whatever it is an attribute, a virtue, or a bond.
Would Viscera make sense here? Because I'm just going completely unhinged down gory territory. And now I'm kind of getting a bit of a taste back to reality almost through more violence.
Yes, I would say that corruption is letting you going more berserk that you will ever gone in different situations. But to be completely fair with you, before you make your decision, you need to corrupt completely an attribute before developing a stigmata.
Yeah,
So,
I know.
okay, perfect. So I just wanted to say that, okay, you're corrupting Viscera, but given that you got 3 points in it, or 2?
I do, yes. I have 3.
Yeah, given that you got 3, it's a long way before
I know,
gaining
don't worry.
something out of it. No, I just wanted to make everything clear. So that's that. Okay. So,
Played a
Phil,
long
John,
game.
you are heavily wounded, but you are able to stand quite easily still. You feel that something is not right with your face. You feel this trauma that you just had. That your head, your eyes are pulsing very much, and you're not really sure what's on your face. If just water, maybe a little bit of mud. Not being able to see yourself. You still don't know about the blood, but you feel something squishy covering your face. You're just not sure what. What are you trying to do with the last remaining creature?
I feel like I'm copying myself here from an Expo game, but I think if it's kind of on me and slashing at my shoulder a bit,
Oh,
I want to
I'm
try.
sorry. It is Spirit's turn first.
Oh, I
He
beg your
hasn't
pardon.
acted.
No, sorry.
No. I'm sorry. I just meant that. Okay, he's feeling the pain, etc., but is technically able to act and decide
Okay.
what to do. I'm sorry if
Alright.
I misspoke. I'm sorry. No, it's not a problem. I just misspoke.
When my eyes start bleeding, can I still see okay, or is it all going to be blurry and?
You're seeing okay given the circumstances, this thick
Okay.
fog, etc., but you're able to see just fine.
Obviously, it's hurting. It's the first time it's happened, so I've sort of got my hands to my head. I'm trying to pull myself along the log to the bank.
Okay, so you're just drawing
Just
out
getting
of combat.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I've got this pain in my head. This thing's happening. I don't know what it is.
Okay, so I'd say that's just an automatic action that doesn't require a roll. You're just reaching for the bank and gaining a little bit more of breath before maybe jumping back into action. Okay, Riccardo. Now again, you think it's on you to end this combat once and for all. This ambush that these faulty creatures put you into. So
Yes. So, with as much adrenaline as I can muster, since it's kind of on me, I'm going to try and grab it by the jaws and just pull apart with another scream of primordial rage.
Okay, so it is definitely viscera. It's definitely bloody, and I don't have your character sheet with me because I forgot my block notes at home. But
cute.
I don't recall if you got anything else you might want to add, such as a virtue, maybe.
The only thing I could think of is hunter.
Yeah, that's not really hunter-ish what you're trying to do. So
I mean,
would say
kind of hunter more again in the like, I'm hunting prey. To me, it's seen as prey, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, it's more beastly what you're trying to do. I imagine hunter to be an actual profession, given your case.
Okay.
So I wouldn't take that into account.
Well, definitely the name, surely.
Yeah, bloody definitely. Viscera, just
Okay,
remember that
so-
now it's 2 white and 1 black.
Yeah.
So that
1, 2, 3,
evens
4, 5,
out your
6.
dice pool a little bit.
Yep, so 6 white and 2 black. So, I mean, technically it was a bit before, but it's all like every which way. Okay. So that's the white, that's the black. Nothing on the black. I got 1 success on the white. It's better than nothing, I
Okay.
guess.
So basically, this creature leaped at you and fell close to your horse. As it emerges from your from the water, it is giving the back to your horse, so you're able to drag and get it by its face. You try and put fingers into his mouth and try to open it, but their jaw is stronger than you made it out to be, so it closes shut. I don't think it cuts off a finger, but definitely breaks a couple. So that's just 1 point of corruption for you.
Okay.
So you're back at
so
2.
go back into blood, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Because the blood is now
Blood.
went back to normal.
Yeah.
Brother Jerome, you got the general information that something washed ashore, and it is, of course, rumbling in pain, and you assume, given that it is not glowing, his eyes are not glowing, that may be one of your companions.
I
You
will
assume
head
feel.
towards the rumbling sound.
Okay. Is there something you are trying to do?
Really, at this point, I just want to make sure that whoever it is, that they're okay. You know, that way, if they are holding a grudge, they might not hold it very long.
So, given the general situation, what you see is, of course, John's face, and the whole body for that matter, because he just pulled himself ashore. They are heavily panting because of the pain and the fact that they just tried and fought their way out of this puddle. You are able to see his face is covered in some dark matter. Again, given that it is foggy and somewhat dark, you are not able to make out what substance is covering its face.
Yeah.
It's a lot, but that may be somebody else's blood, or maybe mud, or whatever it might be. You're not able to make sure, so you maybe touch his face to see if he's all right, if anything's broken. Nothing's broken, but you feel this substance which is kind of viscous and sticky under your fingers.
Yeah,
So that definitely might be mud, but you're not sure.
I place my hand on his chest and just say, "Calm yourself, my friend. You are safe. The Lord is with us, and you shall be safe."
Okay. Are you trying to do something, John? You jump back into combat, or just resting your head on Brother Jerome's lap for the time being?
No, I'll just Riccardo's been left out there a bit. This thing is, how close is it to Riccardo now? Is it still?
Yeah, it is pretty close, but it is well into the lake.
Okay.
You might try and run across the trunk. You will get there faster, but
I think I'm still suffering from the pain in my
a
head.
little bit of concussion. Yes.
Could I perhaps even like pick up a stone and throw at it and shout at it at the same time? Get out of your damn thing! Leave him alone.
Okay. It is sure that this will grant you a penalty, given that you don't see shit.
Okay.
So
I can't see the eyes at the moment.
You're acting out of pure instinct, pure rage. So that might be viscera or nerves, whatever you wish,
Okay.
plus your blood, plus scoundrel, maybe. But then again, you would have the penalty of just the sixes count.
Just the sixes count. Okay, so we've got one for that now. I've got 1 6.
Ouch.
Okay, so
One white 6. One white 6.
A white 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all we got.
To make it a little bit lighthearted, just to ease up the tension and the gore a little bit, I imagine you throwing the rock towards a general direction where you think you went out of the pool from.
Mhm.
But the rock hits the trunk and bounces back.
Okay.
Again, giving you another point of corruption.
Right. Okay.
Because the mixed success should reflect on you rather than on Jayson.
Does that have to be taken on
Blood.
blood? Okay. Fair
Which is now back to normal, so you should add a second black dot
Yep.
on your blood. On blood.
Do that.
Jayson, finish him, please. You're close. it's your turn. What are you
Yes.
trying to do?
So, I'm hoping that I'm able to get the jaw open again at least a little bit, because then my idea is to try and thrust my dagger in there and, kind of go up into the cerebrum.
Disgusting. I love it. Okay. Then again, I would say the same pool as before. So blood,
Yes.
name, and viscera.
Although now we have one over here, I believe. Yes. So 5 white and 3 black. Nah. Ooh. Well, that's a little better, but not loads better. That's 1 success on the white and 1 success on the black.
That adds up to 4. So
And the corruption.
a little
Yep,
bit
that's gone to the
and
blade.
corruption. So let's just make a little bit of math here. Okay. And exactly.
Oh, sorry, I do beg your pardon. I didn't actually roll for my dagger. I didn't put that into the pool.
Oh yeah,
Oopsie.
add it.
That was literally the whole point. Sorry, I'm getting tired. I didn't do anything anyway.
I was going to say that's one dice too far.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter because it was actually enough. And what you were trying to do, actually, you are able to, because yes, they bit your fingers. You assume at least, maybe they're not broken, they definitely are like a bitch, but they give you enough time to reach out for your dagger, open up, taking their head back a little bit, and start carving out of their jaw, right back into the back of their head, and just putting an end to this creature misery. Okay, you made it out of your first combat in Memento Mori. Kudos to you. This should have gone way worse if you took into account the corruption points earlier on, but I'm glad that things ended up as they did. I'd say we quickly close the session by saying that once you're able to take this last creature out and determine that there is nothing glowing in the nearer vicinity of you, you are withdrawn by Brother Jerome's words. That, of course, is trying to maybe ease up the pain, the philosophical pain of John, because he's not really in position to heal any wounds as of yet.
No.
So you all end up to the same shore, and quietly and softly the fog starts to disperse. It goes out a little bit, and you're able to see that now it's well beyond in the afternoon, given the general position of the sun, and close to where the trunk fell into the pool, you're able to see this old and vigorous oak tree that, now that of course there's a sun there, is able to cast a little bit of shadow onto you. And once the fog completely disappears in front of your eyes, you see that there is an horseman slowly approaching, just looking around, and it is Grant. Grant that doesn't appear to have been wounded. Of course, they are a little bit dirty, and maybe their jacket is a little bit tore up. Maybe they ran into into a tree, whatnot. But he reaches you towards this oak tree. Oh, God damn it, I just told you to stick together. What the hell happened to him? And points at John. Now you're all able to see that, of course, John's eyes are a little bit bigger but now the whole lower of his face is pastrid and glazed with blood.
I don't know. He just got attacked by that thing in the swamp, and my head started hurting, and I started dabbing my cheeks. And
A funny thing happened on the way to holding on to the rope.
Well, thank God you're all still alive and breathing, and thankfully you actually stupidly came to the right direction. You see, the arch that I was supposed to lead you is right over there, and points you in the distance where you see this white wooden arch 3 to 4 yards away from you, just waiting. And we will take it from here next session, because it is crazy late and
Thank you.
there's no point in pushing it forward. But thank you for
Thank you
having
again for a
me.
great session.
Yeah, thank you, mate.
And this is the first combat. I think that was kind of smoothly. Might have gone better,
Yeah.
but I'm happy with the results. Hope you are as well.
Mhm.
And unless anything bad happens, I will see you all next week.
Yep, we'll do.
And whoever watches are willing to log in to look what we are trying to do with this new role-playing system, Memento Mori. So bye-bye, and thank you everyone for tuning in sooner or later. See you.
Goodbye.
Good night.
Bye.